Lesson 8.3, Video 2. Now we're going to talk about, in greater detail, vertex form. Now again, remember that standard form is y equals, or f of x equals, ax squared plus bx plus c. Vertex form has a different look to it, and they describe it as vertex because from the function we can tell where the vertex is, hence the title vertex form. Some key pieces here are the g, and again, same rules there. If it's positive, the parabola will open up. If it's negative, the parabola will open down. The value of g is important in terms of if it's greater than the absolute value of 1, or if it's between 0 and 1, the absolute value is between 0 and 1. From the expiration, it talked about if you have a value of g, that when you take the absolute value is between 0 and 1, it gets wider. If its absolute value is a value greater than 1, it gets narrower. A horizontal slide is also called a translation. And inside the parentheses, it does the opposite of what you think. If it's a positive value, in other words, you're adding a value, it goes left that many units. If it's a negative value, it goes to the right that many units. Counterintuitive, I know, but that's how it does work. Vertical slide, however, is the same as you would think. You would assume that if it's a positive k, it would go up, and it does. If it's a negative k, or you're subtracting a value, it goes down. So that does hold true. So if we look at a brief example here, or two brief examples, we look at the picture of what we've been given, describe what is affected by these values. Well, here it's a negative 1/2, which means it's going to open down. And it's between, the absolute value is between 0 and 1. So absolute value of negative 1/2 is 1/2. So since it's between 0 and 1, then it's going to be wide. The negative 2, it's affecting x. It's subtracting 2, so it's actually going to move to the right 2 units. And the negative 3 is after the square part, so that's going to do as is. It's going to go down 3 units. The next one, there is no value inside or on the outside of this parenthesis, but we all know that it is a 1, so nothing is affected in terms of its width, but it will open up because it's positive. The 1 is inside the parentheses, affecting x, and it affects it in the opposite way you think. So plus 1 makes it shift left 1 unit. The 2 is on the outside of the parentheses, and that is after the squared term, and that does as it should, and will go down 2 units. So again, vertex form. The vertex of a regular parabola of y equals x squared should be at 0, 0. But with this function and these changes, the vertex was shifted left 1 unit and down 2, as they said. So the vertex is now located at negative 1, negative 2. And that's how we can use the vertex form to help us find the vertex. On this one, again, the parabola should be at 0, 0. The vertex should be at 0, 0. But it looks like it's shifted to the right 2 units and down 3. If we look at what we wrote, it did indeed shift 2 units to the right and 3 units down. So the vertex would have a new location of right 2 and 3 down. And this ends lesson 8.3, video 2.